How you doing? I'm Caleb.
Now
Hannah
we're
Sports Talk.
Hey guys, this is Cam.
I could be John or I could be Brandon.
I'm definitely John. There's no doubt about it. This is Sports Talk.
This is this talk of sports. Okay, so what are we starting with today, boys?
Well, we had a big week of football this week, guys.
we had a big
yeah.
week for
I mean, it's been since Thursday all the way to Monday, doubleheader last night.
Big
I
weekend.
am so happy.
How many games did you guys catch this week?
I only watched one. The only
I
one that
watched
mattered.
one.
John, I know the Packers. They had a
Go
they had
Pack,
a,
go baby.
They had a really good game.
Go Pack.
Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal.
Yes, he was, and
Great.
they surprised me. I mean, they did. Just specifically, that offensive firepower they had really.
The Vikings suck.
Well, yeah, and the Vikings they're just not good either. You know, and then also on Washington. You know, I feel like they surprised everybody.
I think Washington. I can't believe that Washington is leading the division.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I check a couple pregame sports shows. I didn't see a single prediction between 5-6 channels for Washington.
The
to win
Washington
the
football team.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
they don't even have a name, and they
Yes.
and they came out and they just stomped on Philadelphia's neck.
I would say I'm surprised of them. They did a good job this
Chase
week.
Young and Kerrigan, that defensive line, had a very good game.
8
Chase Young had a great
sacks.
debut. That was great.
Sacked Carson Wentz 8 times. I mean, that was ridiculous.
I just think the Eagles are they have a good team, but they're so underwhelming.
Yeah, they definitely. And Carson Wentz, I mean, he's continuing to underperform. I mean, just he never performs up to what he can, and you know,
Yeah.
I feel like I can feel for Philadelphia fans on that front.
No wonder they drafted Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they'll definitely. I think he'll be in a package soon. I think Carson has a couple more games, but also you can't really blame it on Carson because the offensive line was just getting manhandled.
They always got somebody hurt too. It's
yeah.
freaking Brandon Brooks is hurt. They got old ass Jason Peters on there.
That'll be the end of our podcast.
Guys, we can end the podcast. That was my bad on my part.
Are we gonna have to restart the whole thing now?
It's live and recording, so
You can just bleep
we
that
gotta
out.
keep on rolling.
Are we gonna?
This
bleep
is
that out?
a PG podcast. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
PG-13, John.
If I
That's
get
not
expelled,
okay.
I'm sorry.
That is not okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and steer.
All right, yo, start some more football.
We're gonna steer it in a different direction.
We're gonna. We are turning the ship.
Was there any storylines this weekend that surprised anyone outside of those two?
That storyline
No,
just
not
surprised
really.
me.
How about the Bengals and that ending?
The only game that
Joe
mattered.
Burrow had a pretty good debut. He did
The only game that
just
mattered.
enough to win the game. Great 2-minute drill drive at the
Oh,
end.
yeah.
They go up and lose in the most Cincinnati Bengal fashion possible with that missed field
Yeah.
goal and the. Oh man, that
I
was
don't
just
understand how the
unfortunate.
Browns they have so many good players and they just they're underwhelming too. It's just I
It's
don't
just,
understand.
it's
Why-
just the
Bengals-
Browns' curse.
I think you have to kind of relate that to coaching, though. I feel like their coaches are not fit to be in the NFL. They have way too much talent
They need to go to high school.
Yes, Brandon's right. They need to be
Demoted.
coaching us. So I mean, and then something else that surprised me last night was last night's ending between the Titans and the
Yes.
Broncos.
Even worse than the Bengals, honestly.
Oh yeah, and somebody if I'm in the locker room with them, somebody I'm throwing rocks at, Steven Gostkowski. I mean, he just
What was it? He missed 4 field goals?
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
and it
Wow.
was it 2 extra points? Like
something
3.
like
Yeah. I think he made 1 kick he attempted last night out of all the. I think he ended up attempting 5 kicks with.
He's finna get cut.
Oh, I mean, yeah, and I saw a really.
Boot him.
Yeah,
That's-
Brandon knows what he's talking about. But I
Reminds me
saw a
of the-
really interesting storyline yesterday, or no, it was this morning that he was 5th all time in field goal accuracy, and after yesterday, he's now 8th. That's
Oh
how
my
bad
God,
he
he
played.
jumped that much.
Yeah, he fell.
He's
down
been
to
around
the
a while
spot.
too, so
Yeah.
that's a lot. Wow.
It's crazy.
Did y'all say that Cam Newton almost got his chains ripped off?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw the
That was-
Shaq Lawson and those Dolphin players were not happy about that. They went on social media afterwards and were I didn't get to
They're like,
see
yo,
what they
I have a
said.
question.
They were
Were
pretty mad.
y'all impressed of Tom Brady's debut?
I was about to bring that up. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like
think
we
he
all
could have played better. You
No,
know,
he
opening the
he's
season.
thrown 3 pick sixes in the last 3 games.
That's
Picks.
bad.
He's thrown a pick six in the last 3 games he's played in.
Oh, my biggest storyline for Tom Brady specifically on Sunday is
Overrated.
yeah. I think Tom Brady's age is starting to show
I think
up.
he's caught up. I think
Yeah,
age
like-
has caught up to him.
And you know but sometimes you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. The Saints defense is no slouch. It's just not. Specifically, you know, their front seven's decent, and in the back end, I like their corners and I like their safeties.
Yeah.
So, but also, I mean, to be Tom Brady and to throw 2 picks on opening
When
day,
you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin,
Exactly.
all those weapons.
it's just it's really unacceptable. And yeah, so I'm not gonna
Feel like
hate
you-
on Tom Brady. I'm gonna give him a couple more weeks before I like start to throw him on the cross and just crucify him.
Yeah.
But you know, he still needs. to
Oh,
learn,
I like
you know.
that. I like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, not horrible, not great.
But the Saints they're like a playoff contender. They're gonna go to a Super
Yeah,
Bowl
that
definitely
wasn't
this
a
year.
nobody that just lost it.
Yeah, that's
true.
yeah, that's very true. I mean, they didn't show up and lose to Detroit or something. I mean, they did lose to the Saints. So
And here's the deal with Brady. Y'all made good points about his age and about that was. I mean, he did not play very well, but I mean, there
Yeah.
are definitely some bright spots, especially after the drive after the pick six, where Jenkins had the pick six. Brady goes right out and he marches downfield, and they score in like 4 or 5 plays. And I mean, it was just like Brady just kind of turned it on. I mean, they were down by like 17, but I mean, they come back and it's like Brady just clicks. And so I mean, there are definitely moments where you feel like Tom Brady's still. I mean, whether you think he's the GOAT or not, he's still one of the greats, and it's like you just gotta have that on 24/7. And so
They're a young team. I mean, they got ballers on each side of the field. They got Levante David, who's like one of the most underappreciated linebackers in football.
Yeah,
They
that's
got a
true.
great young secondary and a good D line. I mean, they're stacked. It's just they played against a really good Saints team, and
Yeah.
And the Bucks and the Saints are in the same division, so if both of them have good seasons, I think one of them might be. I think they might be able to both make the playoffs.
yeah.
One
I
of
mean,
them
that's
making
a hard,
the wild
that's a
card
hard
bid.
division this year. That really is.
Oh,
Besides
yeah.
the Panthers.
yeah, the NFC South is gonna be just a battleground because Atlanta playing. Atlanta Seahawks. They got beat by 13, but on the flip side, I mean Seattle's no slouch at all.
Seattle's good too.
Seattle's amazing.
Se-
Russell Wilson.
Seattle's got a lot of talent, so still, and also putting up 25 points against Seattle's defense is impressive in my opinion. Just because of the specifically Matt Ryan had a pretty good day passing the ball.
Yeah, Todd Gurley did good.
Yeah, Todd had a good day as well. So I feel like the NFC South is going to be kind of just a race to the finish line throughout the entire season.
And then there's the Panthers.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they didn't look awful either. But
They did almost. They did almost
They
win.
lost that game, right? Like
Yeah,
barely.
Yeah, by
To
4
the
points.
Raiders.
yeah, it was like last second.
Panthers, don't they have a new offensive coach?
And head coach and
Matt
offensive
Rule from
coordinator.
Baylor came over,
And-
and he's the head coach. So.
And what was
Joe
it?
Brady?
Joe Brady, yeah. Joe
From
Brady
L-
came
L-
in
oh yeah,
LSU.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
something else.
LSU fan over here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
LSU fan.
Been an LSU fan. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a bandwagon.
Storyline I was kind of looking at this weekend too is you can see the rust from college football to high school football to professional
Mhm.
football. Just missing OTAs and not having training camp or having training
Yeah.
camp, but very a condensed version of training camp. It's showing up all over the field, missed tackles, things like that.
Just watch that BYU Navy game a couple
Yeah,
weeks
that
ago.
was
That was
atrocious.
unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, college football this weekend, it was like not pleasing to watch just because there were so many mental errors all over the field, and it was just you could see missed tackles, not taking great angles, not holding on to the football. I mean, it was all over the place. It was not great.
Even in the Cowboys game, Zeke scored that touchdown. He like juked out. He literally made 4 guys miss on the same play, and scored.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm excited about this Miami-Louisville game coming up Saturday. That'll be 7:30 p.m. ABC. Great game. It's honestly, I won't say it's a toss-up, but it is going to be a difficult game to pick, especially if you're a Vegas bettor.
Yeah.
I think for sure I think the easiest pick is just to go with De'Aaron King's playmaking ability at quarterback and
solid
the
quarterback.
explosiveness. Definitely think that and Louisville's got a great quarterback too, Michael Cunningham. He's definitely a game manager, yes, but I mean, I feel like we use the term game manager as more of like a belittling term, I guess, if you will, for quarterbacks. But he's more than that. I definitely think he's very efficient for one.
They got nice receivers, Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, they got
nice running
Atwell,
back.
Fitzpatrick. They returned every receiver other than Seth Dawkins, who just left. He is with the Seahawks now, I believe, although he may have got waived. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I don't know. That'll be a fun game to watch. And Miami and Louisville are both big sleeper teams over in the ACC. They need both, especially early in the season. You know, you love these kind of games because teams like Miami and Louisville, they need momentum going in early in the season if they want to be a potential sleeper to make the ACC title game. Obviously, nobody expects them to beat Clemson.
North Carolina.
Yeah, and Louisville, it's very interesting. Louisville may have had the most favorable schedule in the ACC. They avoid playing Clemson, who they play every year because they're under the Atlantic Division with them, but they're not doing divisions in the ACC this year. They avoid Clemson and North Carolina. So they don't have to play either Clemson or North Carolina. They will play Notre Dame. I believe that's on the road. They have Miami at home this weekend. Must win for Louisville. They need to win games like Miami and Notre Dame if they want to be a ACC title contender this year. They have got to beat teams like Miami, and Miami knows they need to win that game too. Miami's got some tricky games this year, so that'll be a fun game to watch. But yeah.
And then Clemson playing Citadel this weekend. But
Bulldogs.
that should be a cakewalk, I think. Ooh.
Every game on
I
y'all's
don't know.
schedule is a cakewalk.
But
Until
no,
the playoffs.
going to, I
You're
mean,
not completely wrong.
going to Notre Dame, that'll
Yeah, it's a
definitely be a
cakewalk.
game. I tell you that, that'll definitely be a game.
Definitely
Yeah,
a
that'll be
cakewalk.
on the November 7th. That
Even
should be-
though Notre Dame was so underwhelming this
Alabama's a
weekend
cakewalk.
against Pittsburgh.
How about that Duke Notre Dame game this Saturday? Chase Bryce put
Chase
up.
Bryce played pretty well.
He
not
did.
gonna lie.
He put up a fight. Duke just didn't. At the end of the day, did not have.
The talent.
I don't want. They don't have the talent. I don't want to say the coaching because I know we all love and respect David Cutcliffe over at Duke. But you know, Chase Bryce just looked good. It was good. It was also the last time we watched a Clemson transfer go to another school and start was with Hunter Johnson last year in 2019. He went to Northwestern, and there was a lot of hype around him, hoping because Northwestern had a very, very good defense entering 2019, and there was a lot of hype Northwestern could be a sleeper team, especially in the wide open Big Ten West division. Hunter Johnson goes and plays Stanford on the road, and I mean he just plays absolutely awful. It was very sad,
Very
especially
annoying.
as a Clemson fan myself. Was expecting Hunter Johnson to beat a pretty good Stanford team, and I mean he just did absolutely nothing. He had one drive where he marched down the field, and it was like only on his legs and with the help of Bowser, the running back too. But I mean, other than that, he just played really bad. So
Well, going back to that Duke Notre Dame
Yes.
game, I think the only the one thing you can pin it to is Duke got out talented, and that's just the bottom line. They're just not.
I mean, it's Notre Dame. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
hard to
mean-
beat a team like that.
well, yeah, but it's really they're just not at the level of just talent all over the field that Notre Dame is. I mean, you could point at every single position on the football field, all 22 positions, and I could tell you how that Notre Dame player is more talented than Duke. But
other than quarterback, but you're right.
Yeah, but
quarterback it's kind of neck and neck.
And I think, and then on that front, then I think Ian Book just wins an experience compared to Chase.
All
Bryant.
Ian Book does is win. He's not the most talented. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, he just wins games,
And
that's
that's
why
what-
people like him.
That's what I'm gonna say. I think when it comes down to that, there was just at every position it was just better. But I will say kudos to Duke for they're gritty. I mean, I can give them that. They seem gritty. They seem tough. Chase Bryce seemed tough. He seemed like a competitor.
And he's got weapons too. They got
Oh,
It's
yeah.
It's very hard at Duke, especially even with a good coach such as David Cutcliffe. But it's hard at Duke with the resources. You're a bottom tier ACC team. You're a basketball school. All of that stuff. And I mean, it's hard to get recruits to come into Duke
To Duke.
to play football, especially when you got Clemson just a state below, and a lot of people looking at Georgia or
Yeah.
Tennessee.
North
as
Carolina's
well.
just now getting the hype back, I think.
And yeah, North Carolina with Mac Brown, they're getting a lot of recruits
Sam
out of North
Howell's
Carolina.
just amazing.
Yeah,
I love
and
Sam Howell.
I think also Mac Brown can sell North Carolina better than David Cutcliffe can sell Duke.
That's
I mean,
very true. Mac Brown's done a great job.
Yeah.
Exactly, and he can come out. If you were a quarterback and you were picking between Duke and North Carolina, just for example, you Mac Brown could just show you their wide receivers compared to Duke's, and
Great wide receivers in North
he
Carolina.
could just go ahead and sway you like that. And then also, I mean, Duke is in the heart of competition. You know, you got Clemson recruiting North Carolina, you got South Carolina coming up to recruit North Carolina, you even got Georgia coming all the way up north.
Tennessee, yeah, all
Tennessee
those guys.
coming down, and then also
Yeah.
on top of all those outside factors, you have to fight NC State and North Carolina in your home state. I mean, it's
Rivals, Wake Forest, Duke, all those guys.
exactly. You got to fight Wake Forest as well. I mean, it's hard
Right.
to recruit in North Carolina. I mean, that's just my honest opinion. Is until maybe Duke should start kind of trying to look elsewhere. But if they're going to be successful, they're going to have to win recruiting battles. They're going to have to start winning recruiting battles in North
That's
Carolina.
that's really where
Okay.
everything starts.
Yeah, and
honestly.
that's just something I was thinking about. Is David Cutcliffe he's a great mind, and he has a lot of moving pieces in an offense, and I love him as a coach. But until he gets just a smidge of talent, he's not going to be able to be successful at Duke.
Yep. Well, also big game for UCF this weekend. UCF has got their biggest non-conference game against Georgia Tech on the road.
Oh,
That'll
really?
be a 3:30 game over on ABC.
That
UCF.
Georgia Tech QB, man, he's solid. He
Yes,
played
Jeff
great
Sims-
against FSU.
Jeff Sims made his freshman debut against Florida State, and they barely hung on to win. You know, that Florida State. Let's talk about Florida State. That Florida State team was pretty lousy.
Underwhelming.
That was
I
a
mean, it's an
terrible-
understatement. I
That
can't
was a-
believe.
it was a
Besides,
very bad
besides
performance.
Asante Samuel, they played terrible.
Samuel had a good game. That's true. Yeah, Florida State. You got to keep in mind, Florida State blocked 3 different kicks, and they had 2 different I believe 2 interceptions.
Yeah, too.
And Georgia Tech somehow hung on to beat them 16-13. It was just bad for Florida State. Very embarrassing loss for Florida
This
State.
is only like their second year from leaving the triple option too, right?
Yep, that's true.
Last year was their first year in spread. This is going to be their second year.
Still weird to watch Georgia
Oh,
Tech
yeah, of
and
course.
without the option. Very.
Something about Georgia Tech. I was thinking about this the other day. Is you kind of got to think like the players that are still on their roster that were recruited for the triple option
It's true.
have had to do a complete 180.
Oh yeah, I didn't think
Absolutely
about that.
to-
true.
to
All these
develop
linemen,
and-
Georgia Tech tends with the option. They tend to get a lot of these smaller run blocking offensive linemen from Georgia and Florida, and where anybody that wanted to come play for them. And so like you said, 180 is a great term because they had to come to Georgia Tech and you got Geoff Collins coming in, and it's like we're going to run more of a West Coast offense out of this spread, and it's like wow, this is. And so credit and kudos to a lot of these guys for not leaving and going to other schools, where they could have gone to a school that favors running the ball a lot more. It'll be a tough project for Geoff Collins, but a great win early in the season to gain some momentum over
against
conference rival Florida
against
State.
Florida State, who's always been, even though they have been really that great these past years, a solid team, because it's Florida State. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I was going to ask you guys, coming up this weekend, of course, Miami-Louisville is a ranked matchup, but, a kind of strange rank. There's 2 ranked matchups this week. You're going to have Miami and Louisville, and then also with this whole jumble of not having the Big Ten or the Pac-12, you're going to have BYU and Army in a ranked matchup, which I think is really strange. That's going to –
Who?
BYU.
oh my
I'm just
god.
kidding.
No, wow, my bad. No disrespect to Kalani Satake at BYU. They have, he is probably one of the most liked coaches in the country. Honestly, I hate that game got postponed, but hopefully it'll be. I think they are looking at a potential November date.
Yeah, November to reschedule it.
I believe that is when they will reschedule it. I hate that game wouldn't be played this weekend.
And
but,
doesn't the SEC start this weekend?
No, they kick off
Next
next
week.
weekend.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
That'll be
September
good.
26th.
Thank
That'll be
you,
a great game. Week. Yep.
Whoa.
Some great games.
Click the
Well,
wrong
who's
button.
who's starting out those couple weeks?
For your first SEC matchup, you're going to have Tennessee and South Carolina.
Oh.
That's going to be a night game.
Oh yeah.
Caleb, do you think
We all
your,
know who's gonna win that one.
Gamecocks are going to win that one?
Well,
We all know who's gonna win that one.
Muschamp still has yet to name a starting quarterback, so I'm a little.
We'll
I don't-
see how that goes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm-
really? Really?
I'm a little. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical because apparently this kid from Colorado State who followed Mike Bobo knows the offense inside and out, and Ryan is having a hard time translating. So
You're just waiting for that Gunner Stockton.
Gunner
kid.
Stockton.
oh yeah, Gunner, that kid, as a what is he, a sophomore?
I'm just waiting for
or no,
the
he's a
Gamecocks to
junior.
do anything.
Hey, pipe it down. We beat Georgia.
LSU had one good year. No, this guy.
One good year. One.
That's all we need. We'll disappear and we'll come back again one day.
Yeah, so then you're gonna have Florida and Ole Miss kicking off. That'll
Oh, Florida. Oh, sorry. Florida. That's a nice team right there.
Nice team.
Nice team right there.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in with us. This has been TL Hanna Sports Talk. I'm Cam Bailey, and we got Caleb here, and John and Brandon, and we'll
Sir.
see
I'm
you guys
John.
next week.
Thank you.